yourself.
What's going on with all my billionaires out there? This the guy, Hoods Billionaire. Welcome to Hoods Billionaire TV. Big favor, big abundance. On today's episode, we going to be talking about the YSL trial, YSL tick getting cross-examined by Brian Steele. Let's talk about it. So, as you all know, the YSL co-founder, YSL tick, you know, he been on the stand, and it seems like the prosecution probably got to him, or the state probably got to him and let him know, you know, based on the agreement that he signed, he needs to cooperate, you know, properly to the things that he said that he admitted to when he signed the plea agreement. Or they probably gonna pull the plea agreement for him, which once again, they come with what you signed up for. If they telling you, okay, you got to do 10 years if you don't take this, you know, what you were doing, you really signed up to say, okay, I'll just take the 10. Right? But no, you gotta understand, you choose to cooperate, right, in order to get a reduced sentence and probation. So he up understand. Of course, he was giving them the runaround at first, you know, and trying to vaguely answer questions and things of that nature. But then he changed his tune after somebody got to him, probably his own lawyer. You know, the state probably talked to his lawyer and let them know what they planned on doing. So, you know, now he's answering questions more honestly. He's saying who's in the YSL gang. He giving their names. He's saying Thug. He's saying, you know, all of these guys, and he naming them. He telling them what's going on, right? And then when they asked, you know, is he considered that snitching, what he just did, he said he doesn't look at telling the truth as good or bad, right? So clearly he's saying he telling the truth and speaking on what's what. But now Brian Steele, Young Thug's lawyer, is doing his cross-examination on him, and he's pretty much trying to paint a narrative, right? Asking him questions about what a studio gangster is, and, you know, saying, you know, a lot of the, and, you know, he explained what a studio gangster was, somebody that rap but don't live what they rap. And then he was saying, you know, the different handshakes and things like that. Have you seen people like LeBron James or Serena Williams do these types of things, right? You know, pretty much trying to say like that's a part of the culture, right? So he's trying to paint a narrative like Young Thug not on no gang stuff, just the handshakes and stuff that he does. It's just a part of the culture. It's a part of the hip hop culture, and a lot of big celebrities do it, from LeBron James to Serena Williams, right? And I don't like that they being used as an example. Also, that's like, yeah, that's black excellence right there. Y'all know I mess with LeBron. You know, Serena too, beautiful black queen, right? So I definitely don't like them examples being used, but just trying to say it was the culture, right? It's a part of the culture. Now, that's a good defense, right? Like, that's a good defense. You know, to try to just like generalize everything and not make it gang affiliated or tied to any criminality. But, you know, at the end of the day, with all these different people that they have testifying, that they have already signed plea agreements and said they would testify, that includes Gunna, that includes a lot of them other YSL members, you know what I'm saying, to where whatever point that they gonna try to prove, they can call these guys up here and have them testify. Right? It's a part of their plea agreement. It's a part of what they signed up for in order to get out of jail early or get a reduced sentence or get probation. Right? It's a part of that. So, I mean, I think Brian Steele he's definitely doing his best, right? I mean, he's a definitely top tier attorney, right? This is just one of those cases where they got a lot of evidence, they got a lot of witnesses. Well, some of it's circumstantial, but they just got a lot of witnesses and a lot of people that have to testify if they, you know, call them testify. I seen something that said they might ask Birdman and Rich Homie Quan to come testify, but they don't have to testify. Like, they don't have them under a plea agreement. They just, you know, can ask them, are they willing to, you know, speak during the case, and they can say yes or no. They don't have to do it, right? The people that signed out to the plea agreements, they have to do it. It's a part of the plea agreement, right? So they asked Gunna to come up there and say what he know about YSL. He has to come do it, right? He has to testify to the things that he signed to. that YSL was a gang, that they do criminal activity. You see how this all tied back in? It's chess, not checkers. Why he said YSL was a gang. He said they were, they did criminal activity, and that he wasn't a part of YSL, the gang, or the YSL criminal activity. Right? He said yes, ma'am, to all those things. So if they ask him to come back, call him back, right? He has to testify and say that all those things that he said were true, right? So they have a lot of witnesses to where they're gonna paint the narrative that they want to paint, right? And Brian Steele's doing a good job trying to generalize everything. Like, nope, this is a part of the culture. It's not necessarily gang related. That's not what that is, right? But when you got another guy saying that, yeah, there is a gang element to YSL, and yes, Jeffrey Young Thug is the leader of YSL, right? When you know that, then when he's saying that openly, it makes it hard to kind of run away from that situation, right? So it's been a really strange case, just all in all, through and through. We've seen a lot of different characters in this case. We've seen a lot of different people in this case. We've seen a lot of different situations in this case, and it's just gonna come down to what a jury decides. Because I really feel like the state is just hell-bent on getting this man time. For whatever reason, they hell-bent on it, and they gonna call in whatever witnesses they gotta call in and do whatever they have to do to make sure that they have laid out without a shadow of a doubt that Young Thug is a gang leader and was ordering gang hits and people to be unalived. You know what I'm saying? This is just real. So you have to understand what's going on in this situation. And as of course, I'm always going to end it with this. Kids, young men, teenagers, young adults in your early 20s, man. This is what comes with this culture, right? I don't care what you hearing on these melodic rap songs. Like, that culture is not to be celebrated, and it's not something that you should pattern your life off of. It is not. You do not need to be out there committing crimes and doing negative things that could potentially get you behind the wall, being a slave, that's what you are, you know what I'm saying, essentially signing up for free slavery, right, for the state or for the federal system, so you could be making 9 cents an hour, you know what I'm saying, building roads, you know what I mean, like, it's just unnecessary, it's just one of those things where, I just want us to do better as a people, man. That's not the way to go, right? But in Young Thug case, I mean, it's up to his lawyer to get him off and just create some doubt, and he trying to do his best to do that. But I mean, they got a lot of guys saying that, hey, this is what it is. So we'll see how everything pans out, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. It's the guy who is being there. Big favor, big abundance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. It's the guy who is being there. Big favor, big abundance. I'm gone.